What's going on, everybody here, and welcome back to palworld. Today we're going to be talking about probably the best base location in the game as of right now. I don't know. This is probably it. I was told about this from a plethora of people on the Discord, on Twitter, on even streaming, everywhere. I was told everywhere, so I don't know who found it first. So if you found it first, awesome. Thank you for finding this first. But this location is pretty amazing. It's pretty sick. It is basically straight north of the starting area. So right here's where you're going to be starting. You're going to go up north. You're going to move your way over here. This is going to be the first tower. And then north of that tower, you're going to need a flyer to get here. You're going to see like the winter tower. And right before the winter tower, before the Tower of the Free Pal Alliance, there is a hill, a very top of a hill. And we are on the very top of the hill. So let me kind of show you what it looks like from a distance here. So there's the winter tower. This is the top of the hill right here. Now, the reason... There's a couple reasons, but the reason this place is probably the best place to build is because of the nodes that spawn here. We have, I believe, 7 iron nodes, 7 ore nodes. Sorry, not iron, just ore. 7 ore nodes that spawn here, and 6 coal ores that spawn here. So as you can see, my ring encompasses all of the different ore nodes. It encompasses all of the different ores. So that means that while you're here, while you're hanging out, while you're doing things, you can have this place set up to make ingots and to make refined ingots, and then eventually, you know, other stuff as well. So it's pretty amazing. Now, the reason that we have this little thing in the top of the hill right here, there's a hill. I'll kind of show you right here. If you look underneath, there's a hill right here, and that's why there's a platform on top here. This is where we put our PAL box, so that way we can encompass as much of the ore as we can. We actually can get all of it, so it's not bad. But the key, I think the key to making this work really good is actually the Anubis. So we had Anubis before, and basically they're really good miners and they're really good handy workers. So if we go over here, we click on these guys. They have a handiwork level 4 and they have a mining level 3. So those two right there, amazing. And they have a transporting level 2, so that's even good as well. If you can get some better passive skills, that's fantastic. If you get like work slave and stuff like that, like that's awesome. But just to get it going, Anubis is the is a really good pal to get. To get Anubis, if you don't have them, you're gonna need a Bushy and a Pen King. So Pen King and then a Bushy, which I don't think I have another Bushy. I think my Bushy's out on my other base. But that is actually how you can breed those, breed them to get Anubis. So yeah, they just make everything amazing. So I have a ton of Anubis down here. And depending on what you want to do, this isn't my main base. It probably will become my main base, to be honest. But essentially how the things that you need and the things that like to keep it operational, you know, you obviously have to have beds. So beds are a thing. This is the area that didn't have any ores and stuff like that spawned in there. So, you know, it is what it is. You're going to need beds. You're going to need probably the hot springs in order to keep everybody sane. And then you're going to need probably a berry farm. You could use a Caprity and get berries that way, but I just have a berry farm here. So we have two pals working on that. We have a Valette, which can, I believe, plant and pick, and then we have one waterer as well. And then I have two forges, so I have one for charcoal and one for refined ingots. And the reason I have charcoal, I'll tell you in a minute. So that's the reason. The charcoal right here is the only reason that I have this lumber mill here. And the reason for the charcoal is for carbon fiber. So if I go into, oh gosh, I'm so full, no. So if I go into here, and this is basically Palsphere making essentials. So palladium fragments, refined ingot, which I can get here, carbon fiber, which I can get here, and then cement. So cement and palladium fragments are the only things that I don't have being made here. I could set up a stone pit, and I could get palladium fragments here. However, I don't want to do that. And then cement, obviously, you have to go out and get the stuff to make that. But the reason I don't put a stone pit here is because once all those Anubis are done, harvesting everything, they'll go through and they'll put all this stuff away too. So in the time that it takes to respawn, all this stuff will actually get put away, and you'll be able to use it. That way you don't have to worry about getting, like, you know, other pals to go ahead and move stuff around. That guy is just over there chilling. I don't know what he's doing. But now, as you can see, these guys are just gonna go to town. Oh nope, they're gonna go over hit that coal node. But they're gonna go to get to transporting things like that. And then the reason I have the charcoal is for the carbon fiber. So the carbon fiber, again, is to make the pal spheres. So I just basically keep coming over here, max production, start production, and then the Anubis or whatever, they'll come over here and work on this when they're not doing something else. And yeah, it's just basically a fantastic base. Now, if you wanted to make this your main base, you probably could. What I would recommend, and what I probably will do, it's not laid out very nicely. I don't have everything in the perfect spot. There's some things that pals get stuck on. You can definitely refine it a little bit better in your world, and I probably will over time. But I kind of tried to throw this up real quick just to get it going. You have to build multi-stories, because you are right on the edge of a cliff. So this is about as far out as I can build right here. So basically what I need to do is I need to build another staircase up, and then I can build a whole other floor above this. But I need to make sure that I have enough room that our pals can sleep under here without getting stuck on anything. So, but once I have a whole other floor above it, we could, in theory, put the breeding pen. We could, in theory.
We've been playing a bunch of palworld, and I wish I knew sooner which pals were the ones to go for early on, where they were and why they were super good. So in this, I'm rounding together all of my favorite pals that you need to try out early for their abilities or other things that make them exceptional. So here are the pals we recommend you definitely don't skip out on early. And put in the comments which pals you're finding absolutely amazing so we can all learn together as a community. Alright, so to kick it off, we have Tombat, which as you can see here is a pretty cool looking pal, but also very good in multiple ways. So for one, he has level 2 gathering, mining and transporting. So this guy is pretty good in your base if you want to have a solid miner or transporter, as well as a gatherer, but mostly I find him great to have in your base for the mining. He's pretty good to actually have in combat too. He has a lot of like nice sort of dark theme skills, but the main reason that you're definitely going to want this guy particularly early on is for his partner skill. You can see here, ultrasonic sensor. When activated, he'll use ultrasonic waves to detect the location of nearby pals. So what this actually means, if we go over to him, throw him out. First of all, we don't have to use any key items in order to unlock this. He has his sort of partner ability automatically unlocked for free, so he's really great to have. It requires no investment. What you then do is as soon as he's out, you can hold down square and he'll do this massive sort of radar pulse, as you can see. And then if you look on our compass at the top, you can see we now have icons for all the pals around us. It has roughly about 100 meter sort of radius. You can see there's some lift monks over there. There's some extra pals over the place. There's some syndicate thugs up there based on the icon. So this skill is actually really good, particularly early to get, because it allows you to identify the pals around you. It comes back pretty quick. As we're talking, it's already about halfway recovered. So you can literally just do this as you're hunting for specific pals to add into your party. Tombat is a super great addition. And if you're wondering where you can get a Tombat for yourself, well, it's pretty much all around the place in nighttime, but it has to be during night. So I recommend that you get yourself a torch like I'm holding here, go and adventure out during the night, and you'll find Tombats pretty much all over the place. They're very easily spotted because they have these bright purple flames, as you can see literally on him. That makes him stand out in nighttime, but Tombat is going to be really good to have early on for this ultrasonic sensor that makes sort of scouting and finding specific pals super easy. So for the next one that you definitely want to get early on, it's going to be Fox Parks. You might have this guy already if you're playing, but the main reason that you're going to want to capture this guy, or at least a few of them, is number one for his work suitability, which is kindling, which allows him to actually cook things for you as well as melt down the ore into ingots in your base, so you will need kindling pals in your actual base, so they're really good for that. But also for the Huggy Fire partner skill, now you do have to actually craft the key item for this. You can see here, the Foxpark harness. This actually activates his key skill for you, so when you have that unlocked, you can then basically use this guy as a flamethrower, and let me tell you, it's extremely powerful for pretty much most of the game. These guys are quite low level here, but I'll just show you real quick. If we deploy him and then activate our partner skill, these are basically going to die. I mean, he's already a bit low, but you'll see he just die instantly. This pal here is just going to get instantly roasted. This flamethrower is extremely strong, especially against bosses and sort of raid level pals. So do not sleep on Foxparks for the actual flamethrower skill. As you can see here, it is super, super powerful. So you definitely want to grab this guy and get that partner skill. And because you can get him so early on in the actual game, and you can actually unlock the harness relatively early. If you come down here, look, it's a level 6 unlock in the technology tree. Foxparks is extremely good to actually have in your team for that flamethrower ability and to have in your base working on kindling. So we go here and we go over to his like habitats. You can see here we sort of start the starter base on this little island, and it's pretty much just down the hill from the starting area and then all over the place. Very abundant on this island over to the right, but super easy to get early in this sort of starting area. You can see in all of these orange circles. So definitely catch some Foxparks, unlock that flamethrower skill, and put a few in your base so they can cook your food and melt down your orange ingots for you. Alright, for our next one, I've brought us to this cave, which if you don't know, these caves are kind of like dungeons. You can go inside them, they have a load of chests and loot. There's usually a boss at the end, but they also have tons of ore, and that's where our next pal comes in. So our next pal on the list is going to be Rush Ore. This guy, this boar-looking thing, is a pretty plain-looking pal, and he only has mining at level 1, so you don't really want him to put in your base. But what you do want him for is for his hard head partner skill. And you can see here it says he has increased efficiency of destroying boulders while mounted. So in the technology tree, just like with the Fox Park, we also have the Rush Ore saddle at level 6. Pretty easy to make with some leather, some stone, and some Paldium fragments. So when you've got that made, like you can see here in my key items, we've got the actual saddle here made. We can throw him out, and we can get on him and ride him, and then he has the Reckless Charge ability, which, as you'll see here in a dungeon, is super good because there's loads of these ores all lined up. I did a really bad charge there, but if you get used to it, you can hit like 2 or 3 of these all in one run. And you can see we've got 12 ore, 22 palladium fragments. So by doing this kind of like back to back across ores, it's super efficient to mine them, super fast. You don't start breaking your pickaxe and all that kind of stuff, and it's just dead easy. This is like a must-have for when you eventually go out on these sort of mining runs. Again, the caves, like I'm in here, the dungeons are really good to get loads of ore and different things because they have so many different nodes all sort of stacked up on top of each other. So Rush Ore is going to be really, really good simply because of this riding ability. You don't have to do it in dungeons, you can do it anywhere, but you can see here we had 3 nodes there and we just ran forwards and backwards a couple times. I didn't even have to do an accuracy, and it was super quick and easy to actually grab all of those things. But where do you get Rush Ore? He's super easy to get early on. You'll find him pretty much all around the starting area. Once you go down the hill and away a little bit, if we go over to the actual PAL deck, you can see here for his habitat, we'll zoom in a few times, he is pretty much all over the place. If you just go down from the starting island over to this sort of additional area where all these orange circles are. So just venture out a little bit, and again, level 6 is when you can get the saddle. So I advise doing this early, go on a little adventure, capture a couple of them, unlock a fast travel tower, go back to base, make the saddle, and then you don't really have to worry about mining ore ever again because you can just do it while riding this guy. Next up on the list is going to be Lifmonk, because he's absolutely incredible for so many different things. First of all, work suitability, planting, handicraft, lumbering, gathering, and importantly, medicine production. This is one of the few pals early on that will get you medicine production as well as all of these additional things. So just having a bunch of Lifmonks actually in your base is going to be really nice because they can do so much. They can chop down trees, craft your medicine, do handiwork to your normal crafting ventures, all that kind of stuff. So you want them in your base, but they also have an incredible partner skill called Lifmonk Recoil, which, as you can see there, it says when activated, leaps on the player's head and uses a submachine gun to follow up the player's attacks. And this is extremely powerful, particularly early on, but even throughout pretty much everything I've played so far, it's going to be really, really good for you. Of course, you do have to craft the actual harness, as you can see here, the submachine gun for him, which if we go into the technology tree, you can see it's a little bit further down this time at level 11, but it's so totally worth it. This is an incredibly strong partner skill. So once you've actually got that made, you just deploy him and let him jump on you, and you can use any weapon. So I could shoot my crossbow and he'll start shooting his SMG, but I could, you know, pull out an axe and just start holding trigger down and he will just fire like crazy. And you can see these level like 10 and 5 thugs just get absolutely murdered by it. You can shoot things like different nodes and things and it will do damage to them. It's not very effective at actually mining or anything like that, but it's more so for killing bosses, killing raid pals and the thugs and the syndicates and stuff like that. This is a super good one to have when you get raided in your base because they will run at you in a line and you can just use the submachine gun to mow them all down. So Lifmonk, definitely a must-have early on. And next we have Jolthog. This little guy is super cute, but also incredible. Now, he can generate electricity for your actual base with his work suitability, but that's not even super important. That's not the main reason why I find this guy so powerful. It's actually for his partner skill, Jolt Bomb. When basically activated, you pick him up like a grenade, and you can throw him to do an electrical explosion on impact. And this partner skill is like, it's like a nuke. It does so much damage. It's a big AoE. This is also incredible when your base gets raided or just for a grouped up pack of enemies. Now, you will have to, of course, make the actual gloves that allow you to do this, but it's only level 8. You'll need some electric organs, so you probably want to farm a few of them to get that material. But once you've got the gloves made, as you can see, like I've got here, you can then use his ability. So we're still in this cave. You can see there's a load of syndicate thugs doing stuff, so I'll deploy him. I'll pick him up, and now I'm just going to try and group them all together and throw him, and I'm telling you, he's going to one-shot all of these guys. He is kind of busted OP, so boom. As you can see, that skill is insane, especially for only getting it at level 8. If you can capture this guy and make those gloves, He has been a pretty much staple in my party ever since I realized how OP that grenade is. It's so good for these sort of AoE situations, particularly against the Syndicate thugs, or if there's like a whole ton of pals all grouped together. So you can see here, he's actually very easily found. It does need a little bit of exploring, but again, these are the sort of areas that you want to go to early in the game so you can get a variety of pals, level up, and get these overpowered sort of abilities early on that are going to really help in the boss fights and against the actual raid boss pals. So you can see where these circles are. You want to basically go over here from the starting island, explore that area, and you can get this guy for yourself. And then next on the list is Nightwing, because he not only looks very cool, but is good for two reasons. His work suit ability is Gathering level 2, which is great if you need that. Personally, I think a lot of other pals can do Gathering just fine, and they can do other things, so I wouldn't use him as an actual worker pal in your base. But he does have this tornado attack ability that is really good, especially in AoE situations. It shoots a tornado forwards and then he dashes forwards. It does a lot of damage, particularly against grouped up enemies. So he's actually pretty good just to attack with because he does a lot of damage. But he's also one of the earliest and easiest to get travel companion flying mounts that you can have. Of course, you do need to learn the technology in order to actually make the saddle for him. So if we go all the way down, you do see that you need to be level 15, which is a little bit high, especially, you know, for an early pal to get. But this is one of, if not the first flying mount that you can get. So at level 15, you unlock the capability to actually do this. Now, the really cool thing about Nightwing is that he's all over the actual starting area. As you can see, you can capture him super early on before some of the other pals on this list, which have a lower level requirement for their ability. So Nightwings are super easy to get. You just have to look up into the skies. You'll see them flying all around the place on occasion over this starting area. So you might not find him immediately, but keep your eyes in the sky and you'll find him. Shoot him down with a bow, capture him, and he's all yours. As you can see here, if we actually deploy him, it's starting to get nighttime now, but we can use him as a flying mount. He can't fly for ages, so his stamina is going to be an important thing, but it's super helpful for getting to high to reach places, and you can use him as sort of like a ground mount as well, because if you actually ride on the floor, you can see it doesn't use his stamina while flying him, and of course you can sprint, which will be a bit faster, but that will use his stamina. So Nightwing going to be really, really good to have in your party because you can use him as a flying mount very early on, earlier than some of the other flyers in the actual game. Now, next we have Daydream. Not only does this pal look pretty cool, but they have a special effect that is absolutely insane. It's going to help you out loads if you choose to do this. His work suitability is Handiwork, Gathering, Transportation, so they're okay to have in your base, but really you want them because of their partner skill, Dream Chaser, which, as you can see here, it says while in team, appears near the player and will follow up the player's attacks with magic bullets. So, as you can see here, if you put basically 4 or even 5 of them in your party, and you unlock the prerequisite thing in order to use his ability, which here you can see is a level 8 unlock, so very, very early on. You can see in the key items, you will need to make it like I have here, the necklace. Then, by having them in your party, they will just come out and help you in battle. As you can see, they're floating around me because that is their special ability. You put them in like the secondary slots and they always join you in battle. So what this means is if you have something like a Hoocrates as well here, which if we look at Hoocrates' special ability, he has the Dark Knowledge, which while in team increases the attack power of Dark pals, which by the way, all of these guys are dark. We have a sort of insane wombo combo where we can have all of our pals out and attacking with us at the same time with juiced up dark attack thanks to Hoocrates' special ability here. This is kind of a nuts tech to do if you're struggling against those bosses, or if you just want to have all of your pals out with you together, because you don't often get to deploy this many of them, especially outside of your base area when you're out there alone fighting some higher level pals. So these Daydreams are going to be super, super good to get. If you actually go in the pal deck, you can see here, you go to Habitat, they are not available to catch during the daytime, but if we toggle to nighttime, you can see that they are literally everywhere, all over the starting island. So again, super easy to get early on, unlock their thing early on at level 8, capture at least 4 of them. I would recommend capturing a bunch of them, so as you can see here, you can get like, I've got motivational leader to increase my speed, increase player attack, increase player speed, and then I've just got Tyrion. So You can capture a bunch of them to get a load of additional perks on them that will benefit your player character. I put them up, and you have like an OP troop of Daydream pals that are just going to beam everything down with you. So that is our list of most overpowered pals you need to try early on. They have some really good abilities. These have been the staples, my go-tos for pretty much the whole game since I caught them and realized what exactly they do. If you have any pals that you know are really, really good, tell us in the comments. We can all learn together. Thank you for watching, guys. We might have more Palworld videos coming your way soon, so stay subscribed, and we'll see you next time.
Yo guys, what is up? Max here in our Pal World video, and today we're going over 10 of the must-have pals that you should be catching before you're level 30. Now, I'm going to be making two videos, one that's kind of like early mid-game, which is this video, and another one which is going to be end-game, which is 30 and higher. But I kind of just want to talk about the pals that I don't think I could live without, that are either always on my base or always in my inventory, that are just really strong. We're going to be talking about what these pals are and where you should catch them. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. For the format of this video, we're going to start with 5 pals that I recommend having in your party, and then we're going to do 5 pals that I recommend having in your base at all times. Let's get into it. So to start us off, we're talking about Quivern. Now, Quivern is a dragon type pal. I caught mine that came with Draconic Breath, which is a dragon type attack, Acid Rain, which is a water type attack, and Spirit Fire, which is a fire attack. So they've got amazing like move sets that they can learn. You can catch one early. Their stats that they come with are really crazy. For example, my Quivern that I have right now is level 23, and it has more attack, 312 attack, than my level 30 Nightwing by like over 100. So these things have really fantastic attack. I have another like crazy looking dragon called Elfidrin that has 312 attack at level 30. Quivern has that same amount of attack at level 23. Now the Quivern's passive that you unlock comes way later, so you're not going to be using this to ride, but eventually you can use this thing as a flying mount. This is what Quivern looks like, by the way, when you summon it. It is absolutely massive. It is this big, like, fluffy, almost like fairy-looking dragon type, and they are very, very good to have in your party. Now, to capture Quivern, you're going to want to come to the coordinates on the map, -255, -130. In the bottom of the map, if you open it up, you can see the little axis, and as you move around this, you can see the coordinates. So for all of these monsters, I'll be giving you coordinates where exactly you can find them, and this Quivern will always be level 23, so I'd recommend coming here no earlier than about level 15 to capture this thing. The closer you are in level to monsters, it seems the easier they are to capture. So note, if you come here at level 10, this is going to be quite a difficult one to capture. But of course, obviously, if you get lucky, you get lucky. Next up on our list is Nightwing. Nightwing is the very first pal that you can capture, or the earliest you can find one that you can use as a flying mount. And they actually spawn in the starting area. Just running around here. There was one flying around to this chapel just a second ago. They usually spawn in around level 11. If you go to the PAL deck, by the way, you can always check the habitat of certain monsters. So this is the like starting area, and as you can see, they spawn pretty frequently, which is really great. Now, when you get one of these things, once you get it, you need to build the saddle, and then once you build the saddle for it, you can ride it and use it as a flying mount. Now, because there's a lot of these things, you're going to want to try to find one. I haven't found one myself personally, but find one with the passive skill Swift. If you find a monster that you can ride with the passive skill Swift, it's going to increase its movement speed by 30%. which is a massive help because if you're going to spend a lot of time riding this pal to get around, obviously finding one with more movement speed is just going to increase your productivity. So at our number 4 slot is Nightwing. There are better flying mounts that you can get later, but this is the first one that you can capture, and it'll just expand the world for you so much once you have it. Next up as a movement pal, we've got Rayhound. Now, Rayhound's passive is that it can be ridden, but it also can double jump while mounted. There are a lot of pals in this game that you can ride. This is the best one that I've found for getting around, and I also captured mine with Swift to give it 30% increased movement speed. The reason I like this one so much is because it has a double jump while mounted, and that double jump is freaking massive. This is the monster, as you can see, very, very quick, especially with our Swift, but because we're on the ground, we're not a flying thing, sometimes there's obstacles, things that you need to get over, and just to show you how crazy this jump is, you can like literally just jump over massive cliffs and rocks. You can scale mountains with this thing, and so if you're not using a flying mount, or you don't have one, this is the next best thing. Really fast. It will help you get around the game very, very quickly. It's just a really nice attack. Now, to actually like capture Rayhound, you're gonna want to come to the very, very top right of the map. The coordinates for that are gonna be around 542, 335 is an area where I found all of them. Note that this is a higher level area. The Rayhounds that I caught were around level like 28. So these are like right on the edge of kind of exceeding this video, but they're really, really great to have. If you don't have one of those yet, the next best thing in terms of like a mount that you can ride is going to be these direwolves. These direwolves are second best in my opinion. They come with the passive that they can be ridden faster than most mounts, so if you can get one with Swift, then you're gonna be going even faster, but they can't do the big double jump, so you can get stuck and not be able to traverse things very well. So that's why I think these guys are just straight worse than the Greyhounds. Next up on our list is Warsec. Now this is probably the best fighter that I've found in the game. He comes with ridiculous amounts of attack and defense. He's right now got 430 attack and 418 defense. So basically matching attack and defense. They're great to have around in your like base. However, their passive is so good. When fighting together, it increases your defense and applies fire damage to your attack. So not only do you get this massive beetle, let me show you guys what he looks like, but he will also fight alongside you and increase your damage and your defense. So if you need a pal to have out to attack with, he's great. He learns grass moves and ground moves naturally, so you can have grass, ground, and I even taught him a fire move. I found mine with the hard skin passive, so that he gets even more defense, which is really nice to have. The dungeon that has Warsect in it, you can go from the Plateau of Beginnings. If you have a flying mount, it's basically just straight up. The coordinates for the Warsect dungeon are 158, negative 222. Warsect will be level 30, so I wouldn't recommend coming here until you're like in your 20s to fight this guy. However, once you capture him, I don't think he'll ever leave your party. It's just fantastic to have. And really great at fighting. Lastly, we've got our number 1 spot. Now, this Catress has not left my party since I captured her. She comes with the ability, while fighting together, neutral pals drop more items when defeated. You're going to need a ton of leather in this game. Leather is one of the biggest limiting resources. Neutral pals, like the deer, will drop 2 leather whenever you kill them if you have a Catress out. So she makes farming really easy. Bones is something that you're going to need a lot of. You're going to get more bones. You're just going to get more drops from monsters when you have her in her party. Not only that, but she naturally learns dark type and fire type moves, which is really strong. She comes with massive amounts of attack. She's not the strongest when it comes to defense, but really great amounts of attack. And she also comes with 2 handiwork. What 2 handiwork is really great for is working around your base. If you ever need to craft anything, obviously you have all your pals working around your base, but they can be doing other things. If you ever need to like craft something, let's say I wanted to make some arrows, for example. If I'm making these arrows, it's going to take a really long time. Catress comes with 2 handiwork, which means she's really great at just beginning tasks for you. Now she's crafting these arrows way faster than I ever could. So as I'm playing the game, I've been constantly just going around killing things with her out, and then when I come back to base, I need to craft something, I just throw her down because she is so great at making things. So obviously great to have on your base, but even better to have in your party. Good attacker, good at helping you build up resources, and good at crafting things. I really recommend, if you're going to farm Catresses, trying to find one with Artisan. This gives it the plus 50% work speed, so it's even better when you need to craft things on the fly. It's just really, really nice to have. If you want to go get a Catress, there is a dungeon that you can go farm, level 23. When I say these dungeons, they respawn every hour. So if you go to Catress and you capture one, and it doesn't drop with the passives that you want, or you kill it accidentally, you can come back an hour later and go get another one, which is really great for the condenser, which I'll talk about later. Catress is at 241, negative 332 coordinates. For our next 5 pals, I want to talk about ones that I really recommend capturing to have working on your base. In this game, not only fighting pals is really important, but being able to build up a plethora of resources so that you can capture more, build more guns, build more spheres to catch more is really important. And these are guys that are really great at working on your base, not so much as being in your party and fighting for you. Now, the first one, and these ones are in no particular order, is Wixen. Wixen comes with 2 kindling, which means that they are really great at doing the fire tasks. You need fire guys on your base to meld ore into ingots, and that's really important for some of the later crafting. They also come with 3 handiwork, so they're great at building anything around the base, and anything that is needing to be moved around the base, like if there's loose materials or people are breaking down trees or wood, they will pick that up and carry it for you. So these guys are kind of all-stars when it comes to the base. We've tested a ton of different fire guys, and these have just been the best when it comes to being, like, fulfilling that fire role. Now, to absolutely, like, go and catch the Wixens, I found the highest concentration of them in this, like, lava crack that you can find in the map. They live by these hot areas. This is gonna be around the, like, 360 mark on the map, 360, 10-ish. Go around this lava area, and you should be able to capture quite a few. I recommend capturing multiple of these guys. You're going to want them in spades to work on your base. Next up, we've got Penking. Now, Penking is great just to have in your party. His passive is, while fighting together, fire pals drop more items when defeated, which is really nice to have, especially for farming leather and fire organs. And he comes as a water ice type, so he's got great movesets, but his work suitability is crazy. He's got 2 watering, 2 handiwork, 2 mining, 2 cooling, and 2 transporting. He does consume a lot of food, but he will basically do so many different tasks for you on your base. He just does it all. And the watering and cooling is really great if you put a, like, for example, we've got these watering things that he needs to water that he does, but he's also got a cooling thing next to it that requires him to be cooling. So we just kind of have our Penking usually residing in this area. The way that this game works is, if you have a pal that has a bunch of different things, they'll do a bunch of different tasks, and they'll do one and then they'll do another. If you, for example, just want something to water something, or you just want something to just cool something, then you're going to want to find a pal that only has cooling, or, like, only has watering. So for example, this Azeroth only has watering, so it'll only do watering tasks. So this is a great one. If you just need watering done, but if you need watering done and some other things done, then, like, Penking is better. So that's why I'm recommending Penking for our list. Penking can be acquired pretty early on at the coordinates 118, 354. He spawns in at level 15, very close to the starting area. You just go north of the starting area and you'll find his little dungeon. Great one to catch early for water type, and also for farming and for having on your base. Next up, we've got Digtoise. Now, Digtoise is just the best mining guy that we've found. And he comes with the partner skill. When activated, performs shell spin, following the player while spinning, and mines ores efficiently. There isn't a better miner that we found. This is Digtoise. This is a rock. I want to mine it. I'll throw Digtoise near the rock, and he will just spin and break it down into tons and tons of different parts, basically until it's all gone. So you can, if you've got rocks or ores near your base, even if he's assigned to the base, or if you want to bring him out and just throw him at nearby ores, I'm gonna, like, walk over this, probably get way too encumbered. Yeah, I can't even move anymore. But just to give you an example, he, like, basically instantly is dropping tons and tons of ore. I'm gonna drop that for now. but he's really, really great to have. He's kind of more of a like sole function of just mining. Big toys can be best acquired at the coordinates -167, -73. On this beach, you'll just find him walking around, pretty easy to capture. And great to have for all of the mining. Mining isn't as important when you're starting out, but once you get some of the later crafting things where you start needing metal ore, he becomes an absolutely essential person to have. And our very last must-have to have working on your base is Masanda. Masanda comes with 2 planting, 2 handiwork, 2 lumbering, and 3 transporting. This means that they will be doing all of the planting and lumbering around your base and making tons of wood for you, and then transporting all of that wood for you. Having a few of these in your base will give you all of the wood that you could ever possibly need. They're really, really great at that. Warsect is also really great at like lumbering. However, I usually have Warsect in my party, but Masanda is great all around, and they're relatively easy to capture, and they're passive. Once you do capture one, if you wanted, you can ride them and shoot a grenade launcher while you're on their shoulders. So just a great all around, but even better on the base, in my opinion, as the grenade launcher doesn't do a ton of damage, but it does crowd control things. To capture Masanda, you're going to want to come to the coordinates 137, -119. Around this forest area up here is where you will find a lot of them. I also took a fire type to just farm and kill a bunch of them, as they give a ton of XP for killing. And that is where you're going to find them. Guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see part 2 for like the must-have monsters for end game / late game, as I'm currently level 30 and I plan to be capturing some of the higher end and like legendary pals now. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if it was helpful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah.